So today we're going to draft a pattern for these little dolly diapers and make some, and then we're going to make this little pretend packet of baby wipes. So we're going to make a dolly diaper today. Here's my dolly, and now I've got to make a pattern. So the first thing I've got is a piece of ordinary A4 printer paper, and I've folded it in half lengthways and in half across. Then I'm going to put a little dot in the centre. Then we're going to measure our dolly. So we're going to find out how long to make it. So I'm going to go just above her belly button and wrap the tape measure round and up to the back, which comes to 19 centimetres on my dolly. So I'm going to put that measurement down this straight central line. So half of 19 is 9.5. So I'm going to mark 9.5 up from the centre and 9.5 down from the centre. So if I put my 9.5 there in the middle, draw across the top, and then come down to 19, put a little mark there. So that's the length of our nappy. Now I'm going to measure to see what the back will be. So this will be the back, and this bottom bit will be the front. So the back, the nappy is going to wrap around Dolly's waist and come round, and there'll be a gap in the middle. So this is where the Velcro bits go. So I would say about 21 centimetres will work for that. So we're going to mark 21 centimetres across the top of the back. And my paper is 21 centimetres, which is quite handy, so I can just go all the way across with my line. Now I'm going to find out what the measurement needs to be between the legs. That will be 3 centimetres. Let's just check. Yeah, 3 centimetres. So that's going to be 1.5 centimetres either side of my central dot. There we've got 3 centimetres. Now we'll find out how wide to make the front. So the front, I would say, needs to be roughly 11 centimetres. So I'll come down to where I've marked the front, and I will make 11 centimetres, getting it central. That's 5.5 centimetres each side. So now we need to make the curved sides, and the way I do that is to fold this piece of paper back on itself, and we're going to freehand draw from this point to this point with a nice curve, just like a pair of pants shape. So we're going to come in and gently out to the side, and the same with the front. We're going to go from the top there, gently curve in. And with it still folded, we're going to cut this out. there's our pattern. So we just try Dolly, see if it looks like it's going to work. And that looks pretty good to me. Now we need 2 pieces of fabric, your pattern, 2 little squares of Velcro and some pins. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the fabric right sides together. Smooth it out. Put the pattern on top. Secure it with a couple of pins. Make sure it's nice and flat. Now we're going to draw around our pattern. Take the pattern away, pin your fabric together, now we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch exactly on this line. We're going to start at the back of the top. We're going to start here. We're going to stitch all the way around the line. And then we're going to finish here. So we've got to remember to leave a gap here for turning through. So we're going to start here all the way around and stop here. So I've stitched all the way around. If I turn it over, you can see my stitches in the shape of the diaper. Now I'm going to cut around, cut the excess fabric away. You want to get quite close to your stitching, but be careful not to snip it. It's a little bit fiddly, so just go steady. Okay, take the pins out. Now we want to do some little snips into these curved bits, because when we turn it through it will make it nice and tidy. So be careful not to snip into your stitches, but just go down quite close. And on these curved places here, snip. Anywhere where there's a curve, snip. Just being careful not to cut your stitches. Right, and we cut these corners off at the top as well. make it easier to turn through. Okay, so open up the top where you left the gap, put your hand through and push through. Just get a pokey stick, that'll help. There's our basic nappy shape. Right, now I'm going to take that to the ironing board and give it a good old press. I'll press these raw edges in and then we will be back to attach the Velcro. So this is pressed now. We've got two things left to do. That's to attach the Velcro and just top stitch this top edge closed. I've pressed the raw edges in, which will make it easier. But before we go to the sewing machine, we will pin on the Velcro and then we can do those two things all at the same time. So I usually put the soft bits of Velcro at the back. So take your two soft pieces of Velcro and put them in the top back corners. We'll pin them down. Now the front, we fold the front up to locate the other pieces of Velcro, so it's going to wrap around like that and attach. So we're going to put these two pieces of Velcro in the top corners of the front. Okay, so I'm going to the sewing machine, I'm going to top stitch across the top and I'm going to sew round the Velcro squares and across the middle each way to make sure they're nice and secure, and then we're done. So I've top stitched around the top and I've attached all the Velcro pieces. So now we need to see if it fits. Fingers crossed. Yep, that's pretty good. Now to go with our diaper or nappy, we're going to make a little packet of pretend baby wipes. So I've got two pieces of fabric and the one side measures 16 by 21. So 16 by 21, two pieces the same. I'm just going to put them right sides together. And we're going to sew all the way around. We're going to leave a gap at the top for turning here and here, and then we're going to sew all the way around to there. So I've sewn all the way around. Now I'm going to snip my corners. Turn it through. Then I'm going to take it to the ironing board and give it a press and sew the top edge closed with the sewing machine. Then I'll be back. So I've sewn my gap closed, given it a good press, and I actually top stitched all the way around for neatness. So now we need to find the centre, so we're going to fold it in half. Then we're going to open it out and we're going to fold the bottom edge up to the middle and the top edge up to the middle. So we have a little opening in the middle, and then all we're going to do is stitch all these layers together at each end. So I'll go and do that. So I've sewn along these edges to make the little pocket. To make the little baby wipes, I've just cut out little squares of white sheeting with the pinking shears, and you can fold them up, pop them inside, ready to pull one out, clean your baby's bottom. You can have lots of fun with these, using up all your scraps. You can use plain white ones, and if you've got decorative stitches on your sewing machine, you can use those. You can use pretty top stitching. You can do lots and lots of creative things.